Previously on the Damage Guild podcast.
Following your mental map of your hometown, you come upon a small hut.
Smells like Murney's cooking something. I'll knock on the hut.
And you come familiar face with your old mentor, Murney. Tokas, is that you, my boy? It's been ages.
Master!
Come inside, come in. I have learned the true location of the crown within the underworld directly beneath the very city you call home.
I knew it! It's been right underneath us the whole time.
I unfortunately can't point you any closer than the underworld beneath the city, and the underworld is a vast place. All I can say is that it should be close to the capital.
We should use the power of the crown on someone to rally a force to actually believe us, to actually take on the cult with the force that's necessary.
Yes, we need to unite the kingdom.
The AAA team's about to get a lot larger.
Once you have the crown, there will be those who want to take it from you. In order to defend yourself, it could be helpful if you got your hands on the dwarven bracelet, since it is known for protection. I haven't delved too deeply into its whereabouts, but if I were to hazard a guess, I would say the most likely place is somewhere the dwarves hold dear. They are jealous people, and with the Emperor's disappearance, I'm sure they made an attempt to recover the bracelet as soon as possible to keep it out of the hands of anyone else they would deem unworthy. Whether the dwarves still hold it after all this time is a mystery.
Could it be an Eldrazzar? I say that out loud.
What if the dwarves of Glasshammer recovered it from Eldrazzar?
Glassrock.
Or of Glassrock.
Glassrock. Sorry.
They're not down in Eldrazzar anymore.
Maybe they never recovered the bracelet. Maybe because of the giant dragon that's in Eldrazzar.
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe it's in the belly of that beast.
Well, dragons are known to steal dwarven hordes.
Well, Murney, why don't you keep looking into that for us, because we're going to be really busy saving the world.
Yes, please let us know what you find out, but perhaps we should stop in Glassrock on the way home. And just check if maybe Spaith knows of any dwarven bracelet.
Well, it sounds like we need the bracelet and the crown.
If we need the crown and the bracelet, okay, we are dependent on Murney for pointing us in the direction of the bracelet, because we already have direction as it pertains to the crown. So, if we stop in Glassrock on our way back and see if Murney has uncovered anything before that point, we can ask Spaith, we can ask around in town, see if anybody knows of the legend, see if Glassrock has any sort of archive or library or similar. I think we may have checked for a library last time we were there and they didn't have one. But if we know of any like sages or anybody with historical knowledge who may have more information, we can check on that.
Right.
If we then determine that it's possible that the bracelet is in Eldrazzar or some other known location, the question will then be, do we go and seek that out first, or do we go directly back to Nenept and get the crown, because that's the more important piece?
The crown is time sensitive, but I don't even know if we're strong enough, even after being level 6, to get the crown without the bracelet. I almost wonder if that's the case, right? I mean, like, I'm telling you, I remember that episode like it was yesterday. There were tons of, like, screams and stuff, you know, in the depths, right? It really freaked us out. Remember, there was, like, that door and the lever and it was sealed off. You guys put me down there like I was some sort of, like, deep diver.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that, for sure.
But the word demon came from your mouth, not the dungeon master's. So
Right, it could be a bunch of chimeras. Who cares?
yeah.
They sounded strong.
Yeah.
I think us getting our hands on an easier to acquire, getting our hands on an artifact that the cult's less interested in first might be our gateway drug to getting the others, you know?
So it might boost our confidence enough to...
Well, no, it might make us, like, way hardier, and then we're able to fight.
Well, there's also the fact that Eldrazzar and sort of Glassrock are almost on the way back to Nenept.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And we're stronger now. We could be confident, perhaps, to go back into Eldrazzar despite finding out the fact that there's a dragon there. We have some better escape abilities now. So we might even be able to fight the dragon now.
Yeah. We did just record our level up session from 5 to 6. which will be available for patrons to listen to, so you'll know what kind of cool abilities we now have as level 6 characters, and maybe those will help us in that situation a little better. By the way, patreon.com/damageguild. Go check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, I was talking about the bonus content on the Discord the other day. Who was it? I don't specifically know who was talking about what I posted out there, but they were even excited to check out the Champions of the Multiverse. I feel like we've downplayed some of that content, our live content, since launching the Patreon. I think all of our content should be sought out by some of our listeners, right?
Yeah.
You just want to enjoy us more and more, and there's hours of us out there on the interweb.
Certainly. Go to our website, thedamageguild.com, click on... what is it, social, and go to YouTube, and we've got
YouTube
hours, literally like 20 or 30 hours of bonus content, a different campaign that we streamed live on Twitch.
True.
Yep. And you can see the group without Sean, and then
with
Sean added on later. And
that's right.
See the evolution of that.
And see how much better the group became.
Yeah, and how Brian turned himself into giant polar bears with flight. And
a giant flying.
You can see what I looked like with hair. There's so much to do and see.
Oh yeah, I had more hair too back then. Yeah.
Guess we all did.
Yeah, we did.
Well, either way, I do think that is a good plan. If that's where we think the bracelet might be, and it's on the way back, then it seems like a good plan to stop there first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm curious what it does. It sounds like a protective item. It could be good for the company tank.
It could be.
That's true.
Maybe. Because if it takes me a lot longer to go down, we might be better in fights.
Or should we try to protect the company healer?
Yeah, maybe it would go better for the weakest among us.
You already auto-stabilize. You're good. You're good.
You can die all you want, because you'll never die.
Well, yeah. And now that Shabba can get you up, we can just have people focus the healer. You go down, Shabba brings you back up.
Anyway, so the point is, yes, we're going to see what we can find out in Glassrock. If it leads us toward the bracelet, we'll go toward the bracelet first. If not, we go back home and try to get the crown.
Yeah. But you don't necessarily have to get the crown through combat. We have some pretty sneaky abilities now. Even more than before.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a matter of what's down there.
Yeah, however we get it.
We'll have to be prepared for anything, because it literally could be anything. We have no idea what's down there.
It's not necessarily demons. It could be anything.
Could be anything.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, especially with, and you know what I'm talking about, guys, some recent abilities, we might be way better at sneak missions now.
That's true.
That is very true. No spoilers. What now? What is our next step here?
We say goodbye to Murney. Now that the training's done and we can communicate with him anytime we need to via letters, I guess.
Via letters.
Yeah. Parcel.
Yeah.
Package, a letter, a note. We set off.
Toward Glassrock.
Toward Glassrock to see Space.
Yeah, so the first night we're away from Murney's, we thank Murney for everything, obviously. The first night that we make camp and we're away from Murney's house, I write him a letter and I say, "Dearest Murney, we miss you very much. We think about you every day. And we can't wait for the moment that we can be together again. Love, the AAA team."
And then Stripey, you pad Stripey's
paw print on
some
there.
ink and
yeah.
Well,
and you stuff it into the bag and say the command word and send it off into the
ether.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll like that. That was a good touch, Shabba.
All right. Well, that's good. I think we're set.
Yeah, I think so.
Back to Glassrock.
so you set off on your long journey back southward to Glassrock.
Yeah.
It's return to Glassrock again.
I just make horse noises even though we don't have our mounts. Yeah, Taylor. Yeah.
Do we at least have coconuts to clap together?
Yeah, I think we need to find some.
Ah, there they are.
Guys, the journey back to Glassrock actually isn't that quick. Didn't we cross this whole huge mountain range or something? And then there were giants and manticores.
Yep.
And...
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's try to avoid that this time, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Got to check the atlas.
So it will take you, again, close to 2 weeks to get to Glassrock. There was a thought of Ildrazar, which is halfway back there.
Right.
If you wanted to stop there, but you decided you were going to go to Glassrock first and then double back if necessary.
Yeah, because, why explore a dungeon that probably still has that dragon? I mean, that's the top of the food chain. So, why go back to a dungeon that we've already cleared out, unless somebody tells us otherwise, that's where the bracelet is.
Yeah, I mean, so in a roundabout way, Ildrazar is kind of on the way back. Not really. It's quite a detour, but...
Yeah, it's not that far of a detour.
Yeah, I think I'm with Tokas. Let's avoid Ildrazar, if at all possible. Because you say we cleared it out. We cleared out like a quarter of it, probably.
You visited a quarter.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we cleared it out. I would say we almost got killed by a quarter of it.
By its denizens, including its circus bear. So I don't want to relive that.
Yeah.
Ildrazar was a huge success for us. We got to do the scrying and we didn't die.
Yeah, in that sense it was a success, but by any other metric it was an abject failure.
So, on that note, let's continue to Glass Rock.
Yes.
Your many days of traveling begin.
Yeah, also worth noting that we were surrounded by magical darkness, so we have no idea how big that dragon was. We don't know if it was a wormling or an ancient dragon. We could not tell the difference. No way for us to know.
I mean, it caused wind and the cave to shake.
Yeah, so...
Pretty sure it wasn't a baby.
Yeah, so likely on the larger side. Anyway, side note.
Yes, as you once again cross over the border of Asherfeld, your body shivers once uncontrollably as that strange energy in the air dissipates.
That's right.
And find that you're no longer under the ward of the forest, whatever it was that was doing to you, or for you.
Oh no, now we're vulnerable. We're exposed to Shadakath.
We're vulnerable. Don't you mean I'm vulnerable, Shabba?
Yes. And by you being vulnerable, it makes us vulnerable, Tokas, because we're all in this together. Didn't you ever watch High School Musical?
Don't make Shabba sing the song. No,
don't
please.
make me start. I'm going to burst out into song at any moment now if you keep this up, Tokas.
It's a fate worse than death.
A fate worse than Greth, some might say. I've had that episode title in the hopper, but we've never talked to Greth again. Remember Greth Omdrover, the dwarf?
Oh, yeah.
We should just run into him randomly.
Well, we just have to go on a boat.
Yeah.
Just the whole same crew, just happens to be the same boat we use the next time we do any sort of shipping.
Yeah. And the boat's parked on the trail in between where we are in Glass Rock.
Right.
We just happen to walk across it. Yeah.
The days pass uneventfully as you retrace your steps back to Glassrock, until one afternoon, you spot a group of people stopped on the trail ahead next to the corpse of some giant lizard-like creature. They seem to be adventurers of some sort.
How many are there?
It looks like 4.
4 adventurers. We're outnumbered. Maybe if we can get the dead lizard thing on our side, then we'll have a fair fight.
No, actually, we outnumber them.
Well, you do have Stripey, so that makes you 4.
That's true.
Yeah, we have Stripey plus the clockwork parakeet or whatever.
Yes. Whatever Tokas.
Oh, no, it's a Cthulhu right now.
Oh, yeah, Clockwork Cthulhu.
Clockwork Cthulhu 2.0.
Yeah.
That's right. We do outnumber them.
Yeah, with a claw.
I think we can approach the situation with confidence.
Can we do a perception? I want to see, do these look more like adventurers, or these more like adventuring bandits?
That's an excellent idea, Tokas. I'm glad I thought of it.
That would be a 23 for Azlo.
That would be an 8 for Shabba.
6 for Tokas.
Azlo, you can see one of them is significantly shorter than the others. 3 of them are bent down doing something with the corpse, and they're all pretty well equipped. There is a man in hide armor with a large circular shield and spiked battle axe. There's a woman in a fur cloak with a walking staff. You can also see a half-orc in mail with a big heavy warbow and a sword, and the shorter one is a dwarf in plate armor with a warhammer and shield.
Okay.
So
sweet.
As much as you can tell that they have recently been in a fight, they don't look all that weak. These are strong, hardy adventurers with a lot of experience.
Okay. It was their first encounter of the day, probably. They're still at probably over half strength, and they've used some healing spells, so they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
You think they've probably noticed you, as the one who's not bent down, the dwarf, is facing in your direction.
Okay. Guys, I just used the bionic implant in my eye to zoom in on them, and I saw that there is a guy with a circular shield and a spiked hammer axe thing, and then there's a woman in a fur cloak, and then a half-orc with mail and some other stuff, and then a dwarf, and he's also doing stuff too.
Okay, but Azlo, you forgot to answer the most important question. What is their power level? And more importantly, is it above 9,000?
I break out my scanner immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, Scouter.
My scouter, thank you.
I thought your bionic eye had a built-in one of those scouters.
No, sadly, it's only for zooming in really far.
Man, it sounds like you got ripped off. Dude, you should go back to your implant specialist.
I've been waiting to upgrade to the new model, but it's they put out the new model and it's like $1,000.
Yeah, that's rough.
And all they add is one little feature. It's
we better take on some more side quests. So you can afford your indulgent lifestyle.
Your perception check is not so much zooming in as it is figuring out what the little movements mean and what you can see. Like, oh, so that little thing over there must be someone's staff. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Also, I'm pretty sure they've already noticed us by now, so we should probably just approach and strike up a friendly conversation.
A conversation just between adventurers.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we stride forth.
As you get closer, you can see that everyone except the dwarf is currently busy cleaning the kill, stripping valuable hide and other parts from this monster.
Weapons away, by the way.
Yep.
So the beast is 15 to 20 feet long.
Whoa!
And kind of a cross between snake and lizard. Has a long lizard-like body. A long snake-like body, but more lizard-like legs, except there are 12 of them.
Whoa.
Freak of nature.
Yikes.
It's a lizapede.
That's the worst kind of peed. Man.
I'm pretty sure in your pants is the worst kind of pee.
That's where my mind went too.
Do they notice us?
Yeah, the dwarf is watching as you approach, and you can also see signs of battle on all of them at this point. The shield of the one guy is singed as if someone tried to light a fire on it.
Whoa.
And the half-orc has recent cuts across his face and arms. As you approach, the dwarf also takes a few steps towards you, and he eyes your equipment. Well met, travelers. How does the day treat you? Encountered any fearsome monsters recently?
Ho there, fellow travelers. It is we, the Fearsome Three. Our name is the AAA team. And
also
we
known
are
as the Fearsome Foursome.
The Fearsome Foursome. All of these are our names. We greet you in peace, and
we go by many names.
We have not fought any fearsome monsters this day, but we were just checking out your fearsome monster and wondering, what the deal is. Do you know what it was?
A Bahir.
Oh.
They are vicious beasts.
So I've heard. Yes, it's too bad we've already met our fearsome monster quota for the week. We've been knee-deep in them, if you catch my drift.
Hey.
But you know that just as well as we do. You are adventurers, after all.
After a fashion.
Is this your full-time gig, would you say?
Yes, my companions and I are monster hunters in these lands.
I played that video game.
We protect the settlements nearby.
Also, wait a second. Can I see his plate mail now? That's some mighty fine-looking armor.
That it is.
Where'd you get it?
He shines a little spot, and then he spots on it when he looks down.
And then as he wipes away the dust, you see Spaith's little mark on the armor.
His logo, yeah.
How about that?
Tokas finally has something in common with someone else, and I'm he's trying to actually
be social,
not have a bad conversation. Yeah, he's like, oh man, that's so cool. Your armor's dwarvish. So's mine. And Tokas kind of points at some of the shoulder pieces. And
now that's some unique construction you've got on that. I can see signs of dwarven work, but certainly isn't normal.
No, this is all custom by my friend Spaith. Have you heard of the Glassrock Forge?
We're headed there right now, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and I hand him Spaith's contact information.
Business card.
Yeah.
Which is like a plate metal, with his phone number engraved into it.
Just an iron ingot with his name on it.
It's an inch thick, just like a little iron card.
Is that what he turned all the spare materials into?
Yeah. He just printed out a massive stack of business cards. It's a foot high, and there's only 10 of them.
Not everybody has heavy armor proficiency, so I gotta give these out to who seems like they'd actually want to work with space.
That's right.
Okay, you don't have space business
I know.
blocks.
Man, who knew that we'd get so much humor out of business cards on this show?
Yeah. Really has become one of those running gags that you just can't beat.
You can beat it about as well as you can beat a dead horse.
That's right. We've got lots of dead horses we like to flagellate on this show.
I say, so where do you hail from?
We're based out of Bathinter.
I've been known to take a bath in Bathinter every now and then. So, would it be fair to say that you are not only monster hunters, but adventurers as well?
Aye.
Do you go on adventures in order to hunt monsters?
Or do you hunt monsters in order to go on adventures?
Correct. What is your motivation?
Motivation is to keep these lands safe for travel.
Ah, that's rather noble.
Oh, no wonder we didn't encounter anything. Nice work, guys. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks for taking care of all those random encounters that we otherwise would have had to deal with.
You're doing a bang-up job.
We really appreciate that. Matter of fact, we're headed, like we said, to Glassrock. You guys mind just keeping like a day or two ahead of us?
Just keep the road clear.
Just leaving some little flags in the trees so we can follow your exact path? That'd be awesome. We'd really, really appreciate that.
We mostly stay into the towns and listen for word of monster sightings. And then we go and take care of them when they're seen.
We've been known to do similar things time or two ourselves.
Mostly the staying in towns part.
Yes. We do love to stay in town. It's our favorite.
If you are on a trip, I bid you safe travels. I haven't seen signs of too many dangerous monsters in these lands, and you seem like you can handle yourselves if something comes up. Maybe not one of these things, but
Yeah, well,
you could handle a fight.
I mean, we're level 6, so take that for what it is.
So, what? What now? Huh?
I mean, in fairness, we already cleared out some of the most dangerous stuff in this area. We fought this, like, special manticore breeding giant shaman boulder throwing guy.
A giant, yeah.
Yeah, it was a giant 4 manticores.
It was a giant with 4 manticores attached to it. It was like a
Yes.
like a creature out of one of those horror stories.
Is that how, like, adventurers work? We're like the fishermen of this era, where you just, like, tell big fish stories?
Yeah, we have to embellish everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Gets bigger every time.
Yeah, that would be a pretty sweet thing. Like, imagine if during that battle, if instead of once they appeared through the clouds, instead of 4 manticores, it was 4 manticores each with a harness that was holding one of the giant's limbs, and the giant was suspended beneath them, and his attack tactic was just to dive bomb people.
And he has a boulder and he throws the boulder.
Yeah.
I think he just throws himself, yeah. He just goes head first into the adventuring party and just clears them all out.
Just bowls them over. Strike.
Like, these harnesses, they would have, like, carabiners that are, like, detachable, so he, like, detaches from the...
Absolutely, yeah.
And
once he's ready.
And sometimes he would accidentally just detach his arms but miss his legs. And so he'd just be hanging upside down by his feet. Oh, man, dude.
I think he was working up to that. He just hadn't quite gotten there yet.
That's like the best.
He's still training them.
Yeah.
That's like the best. We need to find 12 manticores and train them all to carry us into battle. The AAA team, flight formation.
To be fair, we really only need like 6. 1 for each, me and Tokas, and then like 3 for you and
4
1 for Stripey.
Shabba.
Yeah, Stripey's just like hanging from his own little harness underneath.
Just with
one
legs dangling.
Thane's like, when is this going to end?
This is one of the most precarious battle setups I've heard.
Anyway, we digress. All right.
Yes, you do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, happy hunting, and then we leave.
Wait,
Have a nice day.
Do you guys, first of all, what are you harvesting from this Behir?
Monster hides always hold some value for their toughness. These particular beasts also have some ingredients that I'm told are useful for various magical items and potions and such. I'm not familiar with all those things. They can shoot lightning out of their bellies after all. There's got to be something magic to them.
Whoa. What is the purpose of that? Do they do like a barrel roll and do like a lightning axe effect?
No, out of their mouths from their bellies, I was speaking figuratively.
Oh, I thought they literally, like, it was like from their belly button and they just hits the ground. Yeah, they're like the Care Bears of the D&D world. They just shoot lightning bolts from their navels. Yeah. Take that, evil human, evil adventurer.
That would be a vicious Care Bear stare.
Earth, wind, fire, electricity, heart. Same show, right?
Go planet.
The one's like, and like little like heart bubbles just come out.
It's like, oh man, I got the crappy power.
Dang it, guys. Please, can I fight? No, you shoot heart bubbles out of your belly. Okay.
Man. But here's the Care Bears of the D&D universe. Well, that brings me to my next question. Do you guys have any goods for trade? Actually, I don't know how that applies, but
yeah.
Anything for sale? Anything for trade?
Anything you'd like to barter, perhaps? Goods or services?
We'd love to take those magical components off your hands.
We didn't come out here bringing things that we planned to get rid of.
Yeah, Tokas, if you have any extra samples of the Bahir tissues or fluids, Tokas would like to purchase them with all the gold he doesn't have.
Yeah, do you have any money that you'd want to make an offer with?
I have a little bit of money, guys.
We have some party gold, actually.
Oh, we do.
A little bit. Should we divvy that up right now in front of this other adventuring party?
Yeah, excuse us for a moment, kind sir.
Who's probably just going to mug us in the night and steal our meager gold.
Yeah.
So, what are we doing again? Are we doing 33.3% nowadays?
I think we had dropped this.
Yeah, we renegotiated.
You're right.
Yeah, you guys got a raise, that's right.
As a raise, yep.
Okay. So each get 10 gold, 6 silver, and 31 copper.
Gotta love the copper. Still living that squalid life, son. Hard to believe I now have a 3-figure net worth. Shabba is worth 596 GPs.
So at what point do you retire to the wilderness?
I think you got to get at least 4 figures. That's what I hear is the current number these days.
Seems like you could live off of a gold piece for like a month or so.
Yeah, 1,000 months is a lot of months, guys.
Although that depends entirely on what sort of lifestyle you want.
Yeah.
I'm thinking commoner.
I'm pretty self-reliant, pretty resourceful. I wouldn't mind building myself a homestead in the wilderness.
Find a she-Goliath to settle down with?
Yeah, maybe.
Or a Sahuagin?
Only if she has the right tattoos.
Right.
Yeah,
Only
yeah,
if
true.
her tattoos lend themselves to genetic diversity.
Isn't it if their tattoos match yours identically, like perfectly, then you're like soulmates or something?
No, then you're like brother and sister.
Oh, okay. All right.
But what if they're like interlocking? Like, is that how they work? I remember you said that they have to be different, but
yeah, actually, if you stand,
like, what if they're like the opposite?
If you stand face to face and they make an awesome pattern, like when they touch of differentiation, like positive and negative space, then you're like pretty much soulmates. So
is that like part of Goliath courtship? Is you just like smush your face up?
Yeah, that's how the seasonal the harvest courtship rituals go around around Goat's Giving. It's called the face smashing cotillion.
And they like put like a goat bone in the hallway at the top of the. Instead of mistletoe, it's like a goat's like collarbone and
yeah,
hanging from the ceiling. Yeah,
and then that's where they know that the face smushing happens.
Right.
Yeah.
No kissing. You just press faces together.
And instead of breaking the wishbone, like the little thin wishbone for good luck, you break a goat femur. It's real tough. It's kind of hard to do.
It's a lot harder to break. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the wishbone because it's so easy to break and it's satisfying.
Yeah, but these are Goliaths.
Goliaths just have to do everything harder than the rest of us. You guys are just showing off.
Yep. It's all about the challenge, my friend. Anyway.
So, getting back to this, was there something specific that you wanted to offer?
I was just looking at my stuff. I actually have 5 gems here written down.
Oh.
Yeah, we shouldn't give those away till I've had a chance to shine them up. You haven't given those to me yet?
I hadn't given those to you yet. Would you like me to give them to you so you can shine them up?
Yes, so I can start. Because Thane has me, spend a whole day or so, shining up gems. It takes time, Azlo.
All right.
You can't just expect them to be beautiful.
I give them to you, and you write them on your character sheet.
5 assorted gems?
Yeah. Other than that, we don't really have much.
I have this puzzle box.
What does the puzzle box do again?
That you bought and have never looked at again.
Yeah, didn't I get it from the vendor at the carnival?
Yeah.
Yep.
What does it do again?
It's a box that is also a puzzle. Or it's just maybe a box with puzzle pieces inside. I don't really know.
It's a box that's a puzzle, so you have to figure out how to open it.
Okay.
Yeah, but if we've never solved it, what if there's something sweet inside of that?
Yeah, like the stone that I just held in my pocket for months. All right, I solved the puzzle box. What's in it?
I win D&D. Yay. Also, I like to imagine this whole time, Shabba does. He hasn't forgotten about it. He just, pulls it out sometimes, and he just, looks at it. He's this is really cool. And then he never tries to solve it. Yeah.
So let's not barter anything with these guys. Let's just make small talk and commiserate with them about being awesome adventurers.
Okay.
Man, isn't it tough being in the adventuring life?
But isn't it awesome, too?
Yeah, but it's, so rewarding in the fact that, you're helping people, but you're also helping yourself and becoming rich. But also you're doing good deeds, but also you're becoming filthy rich. Also, you're putting your life on the line for the sake of innocence, but you're also making yourself wealthy at the same time.
Yeah, lots of stories to tell at the local pub.
Right.
Damsels to rescue and talk to about your escapades.
Yeah, lots of fame and stuff.
All for the stories I'll tell my children one day.
Oh, you already have kids? How many?
No, the ones that I will have one day.
Yes.
Well, you better get on that. I remember we were told at one point that dwarvish love is something special. So, it sounds complicated.
But we also know that dwarves don't snuggle, so
Yeah.
it's complicated.
By the way, do we mention that we know a fine bearded lass that you might get along with if you're into that
true.
whole settling down and having kids thing?
Do we try to matchmake every time we meet a dwarf? Is that why we've met so few dwarves lately? Because they know
Pretty
we're going to
much.
matchmake. Right, if he gives us a male dwarf, we try to matchmake them with the female dwarf we met. And if we meet a female dwarf, we try to match them with the male sailor dwarf that we met.
Yep.
You just can't win.
It's either Greth or, what's her name, from the caravan?
Elbrit.
Elbrit.
Yeah. It's either Greth or Elbrit.
And we just have pictures of them, and we hand them out to dwarves that we
And
meet.
since they didn't want to date each other, we just try to pair them off to random other people.
She's got a fine beard.
She does. It's
She
true.
does.
Should make a fine beard wife.
My beard wife. Well, it's been nice knowing you, but so long, sucker. No, I'm just kidding. Goodbye. We'll see you later.
Fare thee well on your travels.
Have fun with your lizard creature. And be safe. And may Aldona watch over your face. Forgot what they say. May Aldona watch over your devotion to Kavaki. Oh, psych. Gotcha.
Snap, son.
Kavaki rules. Peace.
No, it's May Aldona guide your feet.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, or some variation of that.
She's all about the feet.
Yes.
If this was a future society, Aldona would make shoes and sell shoes. She'd be like the Nike of...
Right.
You're right.
The Aldona Swish. Well, see you later, dwarf man. Goodbye.
Aldona, watch over your travels.
And Kavaki, watch over yours. Goodbye. And we continue on our journey.
I can't help but think we've missed something there, but let's just keep going.
Yeah, we kind of didn't talk to the other three people, but maybe we'll move past the dwarf and talk to the other three. Excuse us. Do you have anything important to let us know about?
Do you have any quest items or quest hooks, perhaps?
Yeah.
I like your fur coat. That's nice. Did you kill it yourself?
Actually, no, it wasn't me, but Flint here hunted it, and I turned it into this cloak.
Oh.
Is she talking to the half-orc or the human?
Flint is the half-orc.
Half-orc.
The one with the war bow.
It's very debonair. It suits you.
Thank you. Quite warm as well.
Yes, that's quite nice on these cold peaks, right?
Yeah.
It's necessary for these tall mountains.
True. So what's new, folks? What's the haps in these parts?
Do you need any help with anything?
Yeah.
I think Osam already told you what was going on here. There's been little by the way of monsters to worry about.
Yes, but what I'm really getting at is there anything special or significant about any of the four of you? That's what I would like to know.
Do you have any significance to our story?
Everyone is significant.
Have we been talking for a minute yet?
We have. We've been talking for quite a few minutes.
Yeah, you know what? We have. I think we have. I would like to make
Why don't we become friends?
I'd like to make a check, please.
I'd like to make an empathic check as well.
A persuasion check contested by one of their insight checks.
To do what, though? Why are you trying to charm them?
Oh, to make friends.
To make them give us some of the snake creature without us having to barter for it or pay them.
No, just to be friends.
Tokas just wants samples.
I want the armor off the dwarf's back, too. Can you make that happen, Azlo?
I'll see what I can do. That would be a 23 persuasion.
Against who?
The dwarf, since we've been talking to him the longest.
That's a success.
All right.
So he's friendly.
I think he was already friendly toward us, but that's okay.
He's super friendly now.
Yeah, do you guys have any significance to our story?
Or are you just the heroes of your own?
I think it's significant that we killed this monster before it happened to come across you and eat you.
True.
That's always nice.
Thank you for that.
Guys, let's revel for a second. They may literally exist so that we could have gotten to Glassrock faster. That might be the whole reason that they exist from a game perspective.
Yeah, so we are very thankful for you guys for taking all the random encounters in this area. That's certainly true.
Yeah, that gave us nearly 2 weeks of safe, fast travel. But again, I think you should take Shabba up on his suggestion and just go towards Glassrock, day or so ahead of us. We'll follow in your wake of slaughtered monsters. Maybe we'll pick at the corpses ourselves.
Yeah.
Actually, if you guys leave, we'll probably have a try at this body right here and try to get to the stomach magic or whatever you're talking about.
Yeah.
We'll be here all night, all afternoon, all night, trying to strip out all the valuables from this thing.
Oh, wow.
It takes a long time to get every bit of good you can out of a monster.
Do you know if there are any other Behirs in the area, by any chance? Was this part of a Behir family unit that you are aware of?
I'm sure there are more out there somewhere. We happen upon them every once in a while.
Well, I don't want to get too sidetracked here. It was wonderful meeting you. Can I just have each of your names and identification numbers so that we can check in the next town, make sure you're not up to no good? Or just your names, that's fine.
Why don't you just, give that group a name, like the Monster Hunter Skinners?
How about the Fearsome Foursome?
That's already our name.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have a group name, but they give you their names, and you could ask around about them if you so choose.
Okay.
Wait, the lady in the fur coat is a human, right?
Yes.
We can call them Doe, like D-O-H-H, because it's a dwarf, an orc, and 2 humans. Anyway, that's what we'll call them.
The dwarf is Osarm. The half-orc is Flunt.
Flunt?
Flunt. F-L-U-N-T.
Okay.
Oh, Flunt. Okay. And then what else? Who else?
The woman is Saren. S-E-R-E-N.
Saren the Siren. Now your fur coat makes sense.
And the man is Tiak. T-I-A-C-H.
Sweet.
Tiak.
All right. That's all we need. Nice to meet you. We'll be sure to conduct a full background investigation on you in the next town. Goodbye. Let me go to Glassrock.
You guys wouldn't happen to know anything about ancient dwarvish armaments, would you? Wait, he's a dwarf. Why don't we just ask him?
I'm pulling
before we
Tokas
leave?
away as he's speaking to the dwarf.
Wait, no, he might know something about this.
Nope, it's fine. We probably don't want to... we don't want anyone to know that we're looking for this that we don't trust.
You do eventually make it all the way back to Glassrock safely. You pass by a few potential dangers in the distance along the way, but nothing that you have to fight.
Okay.
We're going to keep a low profile.
Yeah.
While we were traveling, I started on those 5 assorted unfinished gems from Azlo.
Oh, you're cutting them?
Yeah, of course. That's what gnomes do.
Shining them?
Where did those gems come from?
Those were the gems from the Giant's Cave, weren't they?
Yes, indeed. They were.
So they're giant gems, right?
Yes. Maybe they're
Because
really
they came
big.
from a giant. They're giant gems because they're from a giant.
Totally.
You can be working on them overnight, and you'll cut all of them into nice gems.
Sweet.
Once we arrive in Glassrock, We go to the visitor center to ask about the bracelet.
Visitor center?
They've got to have some kind of visitor station around here, right? Like a booth?
Well, so we know that Glassrock doesn't have a library.
Right. Because dwarves don't believe in books.
Well, do they have some sort of, like, arcanery or archives, something where somebody would know something? Like, where are the older dwarves hang out? We want to talk to old dwarves. Like, we go to the nursing home. They're, like, playing dwarf chess.
The older and wiser dwarves are probably going to be the ones that are leading their respective households and families. So, like, the major clan leaders and such.
All we got to do is join a clan. Become part of the family.
You could also try a temple. They usually have knowledge there.
That's true.
Yeah, let's go to Rothtar the Blessed. Rothtar the Old Blessed.
I like Rothtar.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a powerful guy. Knowledgeable guy. Priestly guy.
He's like the only person in the society that has glasses, too. I remember that much.
Yeah.
So you can actually read things unlike the other old dwarves.
True, he's got the leg up on him there.
All dwarves have cataracts. That's the other factoid about dwarves.
Little known fact.
Yeah.
I don't think glasses help much with that.
Dwarven glasses do.
The only kind of glasses that most dwarves care about are those filled with alcohol. So.
Oh,
A Thane joke.
Wow. Zing.
Oh, this is going to be a good episode.
See that one coming.
All right, Rothtar's house of whatever god he serves. Can't remember. Is he an Aldenite?
I thought they had, like, a different god.
And Bastille also.
He's Embastille. That's right.
Embastilian.
He's an Embastilio.
That's the one that you've interacted with the most by far.
The Embastions. Aren't we, like, indebted to the... aren't I indebted to the Embastion for curing me of my were-ratism?
I was just thinking about that earlier.
Yep.
They haven't called us up yet.
Yeah, they haven't sought our services.
They haven't shown the bat signal into the sky.
You've also been away almost the whole time. So.
Well, Rothtar, it's great to be with you again. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, on such short notice.
Yes. Thanks for dropping everything that you are doing and shirking all your other responsibilities to be with us, to allow us this audience. We do our class. Rothtar, wake up. We're like in his chamber. Rothtar, I know you're taking your afternoon nap, but please, we need you.
I'll say that you happen to see him walking around the temple, and you can strike up a conversation with him outside.
Rothtar? Rothtar, is that you? Rothtar, it is you!
Rothtar the Blessed!
Hey, it's us, the AAA team!
Hey!
Remember?
What are you doing here?
Welcome once again to the Embastion. How can I help you?
Hey, we were just coming here to worship Embastille. So, while we got you, let's say that we were searching for a priceless and world-renowned artifact of immeasurable power.
Of dwarven make.
A.K.A. the Dwarven Bracelet of the Altoric Empire. Where might one go about finding such an item?
He immediately puts on a rather suspicious and disapproving face.
Oh, no.
Why are you inquiring after such an artifact?
There are problems with the other artifacts in the Empiric collection, and we are attempting to thwart those evildoers who would use them for ill by using them for good.
I'm also looking around, by the way, to make sure that we're alone.
Come talk to us in this alcove over here, Rothtar. This not at all alarming alcove.
I promise we're not about to mug you. Just trust us.
You're not alone right now. There are other acolytes and such doing their duties around the temple, and no one right next to you.
Rothtar, if we may, could we speak to you in a more private setting?
Yes, please.
This is really important.
This is of utmost importance.
Suppose we shouldn't speak of such things in public?
The fate of the world may depend on it.
Come with me. He leads you back into his chambers.
Have I mentioned what lovely chambers you have? Rothar?
Shiver me chambers.
They really are a marvel.
Even if I did know where the bracelet is, why should I tell you and trust you that you will use it only for good? And even if your intentions are good, how do I know you will not simply lead it into the wrong hands?
Because we're the right hands, Rothtar. Let Azlo tell you all about why we're qualified to do this.
That bracelet was forged by the dwarves. It was a gift to the Emperor, but as the Emperor died with no heir, it naturally belongs to the descendants of those who created it. What claim do you hold to that bracelet?
We don't hold any claim except that we don't want bad people to get it.
Also, we don't intend to keep the bracelet forever. We really just need it to finish the mission of gathering the other relics so there's this evil cult. We should just tell them everything, guys.
Yeah, look, Rothtar, we want to save the world and then we'll give you back the bracelet, okay?
Yeah, we would want the original owners to have the bracelet after we finish the mission, of course. We need the bracelet so that we can collect the other relics before they fall into the evil hands of the cult. I hate that cult. And Tokas takes off his wig. Look what they did to my hair.
Rather unfortunate.
Oh, they also killed all of my loved ones, but seriously, my hair.
Look, Rothar, look at his head. Can you imagine a more evil organization than someone who would do something like this?
Can you imagine the agony, the torment he must suffer being bald?
Every single day.
Absolutely abhorrent.
That was a meta joke by Brian.
Oh, I'm not just bald, guys. Tokas' scalp really does look like a raisin.
Oh, okay.
We've been over this before.
It's true.
It's worse than just being bald.
He's like kind of like Deadpool, but just on the top of his scalp.
Just on a scalp, yeah.
Yeah. Minus all the cool special powers.
Yeah. Right. And the ability to break the fourth wall. No, I guess you do have that.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah, I do. I do that.
So what do you say, Rothtar? Do you have any clues or any information that might be helpful to us in tracking down this bracelet?
Have our word that we'll return the bracelet after the mission is completed.
Yes.
Or we're dead, but then you can have the bracelet back anyway.
Yes. You help us, and we will help you by returning the bracelet to its rightful owners.
Yeah, do you know who the clan was that created it?
Make a persuasion check, and we'll see what we can get out of this.
That'd be old Azlo's department. I wouldn't even want to taint his results with my inferior roll.
Azlo has done the least talking of the three of you, though.
Yes, but he is about to do the most. By persuasioning.
That would be a 25.
Do you want us to roll as well, Thane? It looks like you wanted us to.
Yeah, I think everyone should roll. You're all talking.
And then you can, subtract our scores from Brian's.
That is how D&D works.
Oh, whoa! I just rolled a 17, so that's a 16. That's like one of my best charisma scores ever.
Guys, let me show you what die I rolled so that I can tell you how much worse it is when I subtract my modifier.
My negative charisma score. Sorry. It's actually, I forgot. I never roll charisma. I forget it's a -2. I actually have a 15. But that's still really good.
Yeah.
That's not bad, considering.
If you average my score with Brian's score, that's a 20.
That is pretty good. I rolled a 16, and so I got a 16, because I just have the 0.
So all three of you working together try to come up with your best arguments and give him enough information about the cult to convince him that you need this bracelet and the world is at stake here.
Are you the rightful owner of the bracelet, or is it just dwarf kind in general? Or even the glass rock dwarves? Which dwarf do we give the bracelet to after we finish the mission?
The bracelet was returned to the dwarves after the Emperor disappeared.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
It was entrusted to a certain member of the Glenhammer noble houses, one Zabas Glenhammer.
We know that name.
Zabas.
That is the name of this country, yes.
Yes.
Ah, yeah. Okay, yes, we know that name.
But we don't specifically know Zabas. Was Zabas a ruler of the dwarves?
So it belongs to the whole country, or Glenhammer is a clan of dwarves that lives in Glenhammer, and after which the country is named?
Glenhammer is the most powerful clan in these lands.
Okay. So therefore the country is named after them.
Yes.
Okay.
However, Zabas is missing and was presumed killed during the invasion of Ildrasar.
With the bracelet in his possession or unknown?
It's unknown. He likely had it, if not on his person, at least in his household or somewhere nearby.
During the invasion of Yggdrasil, you say?
Yes. He seems very reluctant to be giving you all this information.
Guys. Unfortunately, the dragon has it. Right? I mean, where does all the treasure go when the people who own it die? It goes to the dragon.
The dragons.
Shabba, hear me out. We're level 6 adventurers. Like, Tokas did a total shift between level 5 and level 6 confidence level. Listen, if we can't even beat a dragon, we're not getting the crown.
But you know who can? It's the bracelet, by the way. You know who can beat a dragon?
Stripey?
The fearsome foursome.
True.
With our help, with our powers combined, Tokas, we would be like 2 adventuring parties in one.
So we need to go back and entice them to kill a dragon and harvest the dragon scales with us?
Fighting shoulder to shoulder to save the world, Tokas.
Yeah, but that dragon isn't causing any trouble. Like, how will we convince them to kill a dragon that's being totally dormant and just laissez-faire?
Because it has the key to unlocking the safety of the world. Think of it, Tokas.
Is there anything else you can tell us, Mr. Blessed?
That's Mr. The Blessed to you. Thank you.
Raftar T. Blessed. Just call me RTV.
Oh, boy.
Zabas lived in Glenhammer Hall in Yggdrasil.
We have walked these hallowed halls.
The dangers of the city there have stymied any attempts at recovering the bracelet.
Oh yes, we know that full well.
At least to my knowledge. It's possible that some robbers have gone in and stolen it.
Well, we just need a burglar. Someone who knows how to become invisible and can burgle something.
I don't think that party had a rogue in their midst, but...
Well, that was a good theory, Tokas.
Rothtar. Listen. Rothtar, baby, listen. We're doing you a favor. We're going to get the bracelet. We just need to borrow it to save the world, which is also doing you a favor.
By getting it back into the hands of its rightful owners.
Because you can't have the bracelet if the world doesn't exist.
Right, its rightful owners need to have it.
Yeah. We also probably want to use it to save his girlfriend, but that's a side quest. We should also mention that because he might get angry if we borrow it longer to go beat Felmandar.
It is not mine to give out, and I am sure that Zabas's children would be very pleased to see it returned to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you told us where the bracelet is. We're going to go get it, then save the world, come back, right? Because, I mean, we love Glasshammer. We've been here several times.
Glass Rock, Tokas, Glass Rock.
We love Glass Rock. We've been to Glass Rock several times. I like Glass Rock. I mean, Spath is here. You guys are all right.
Glendrum is my favorite continent.
Yeah. So listen. This is Tokas' plan, right? We go kill the dragon if we have to, or just burgle the bracelet, whatever. We get it, then we go get the crown, beat the cult, whatever. Then we also go take out Felmandar, come back, and they'll never know that we don't have to tell Zabas's descendants. We just give them the bracelet and we're hailed as heroes, and then we get to become like noble persons here in Glassrock. It's the perfect plan. Can't go wrong as long as, step 1 and step 2 and step 3, and as long as we win every single fight that we're going to have.
As long as every step of the plan goes right, it can't go wrong.
Yeah, and you guys will have the bracelet, and I promise it's not going to end up in Marengar in some other country where we fall in battle, inevitably.
Right.
Yeah. You can trust us, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah.
It's lost to you either way. At least you're taking a gamble. I feel like you've already told us where the bracelet is, so you're already accepting our offer. Mm-hmm. We're the only chance you've got.
We're your only hope. We may not be much, but we're it, baby.
Yep, we're your only hope, Rothtar Nobi.
That's right.
At the very least, should you fall in battle outside of Yggdrasil, perhaps the bracelet will be somewhere easier to recover it.
Yeah.
Do you really not trust us that much? Why don't we, Shabba, and I whisper to Shabba for a second, why don't we just tell him that we're pledged to Embastille and he can just call on his god to force us to give him the bracelet?
Because technically they can't do that. I mean, they can ask, right? But we don't have to listen. We signed an agreement. I mean, I signed an agreement. I didn't sign anything.
Oh, wait, we're telling him this?
No.
We're still whispering? We're still whispering.
No, I'm whispering this into your ear.
It can't hurt to tell him. It'll only increase his trust in us.
Rothtar, we really appreciate what Embastille is doing in the world. And so, as a token of said gratitude, we have, /I, have pledged ourselves to the work of Embastille. And you can check your churchly records, your clerical records, if that's a play on words, maybe. your cleric records. Just look into it. Contact the branch of the Embastillian Bastion in Inept and just ask. There's a fella there by the name of Lizardman McGee. What's the awesome guy's name? I totally botched that one. I had it on the tip of my tongue, and I couldn't get there.
It's really cool.
It's Hallenheim.
Holy Hallenheim.
Holy
Hallenheim. Perhaps you've heard of him. He's legendary in the city of Ninept. Contact Hallenheim. He will vouch for us. He will tell you.
Yeah, and then you can give us the rest of the information that you're withholding for us to be successful to get the bracelet. 'Cause we're not idiots. You know more about this.
Yeah.
We don't trust you that you told us everything because you don't trust us.
I have nothing else to say.
Oh, well, see you later.
I can contact my counterpart in Inept and see if he agrees with your story.
Yes.
But there's little I can do for you to aid in the recovery of the bracelet.
Well, at least you'll feel better if you contact him, right, while we're gone, holding the fate of the bracelet in our hands. Can you, bless us or something? You're the blessed. Can you, bless us and give us, +1 armor class
like, yes,
for the next,
for 5 minutes.
6 hours while we go fight? How far away is Ildrazar? Could you give us, some sort of party buff?
Yeah, it's too bad we passed right by Ildrazar on our way to Glassrock. Now we have to go back.
It's 3.5 days away.
Okay, that's not that bad.
You're a super powerful priest guy. You have to have something.
So 4 days of blessing, please? No, you don't have to do that.
Could you just bless us with anti-dragon fields, please?
What my friend here is trying to say is that
thank you for all the information that you've given us.
Yes, we trust that you've given us all of the information that you have, and we appreciate your help in doing what is right and good.
Yes, and we don't want to burn any bridges, Rothtar. We may need to speak with you again.
Despite what my friend Tokas may do or say.
Well, I can't always control my dark side.
And you're telling me this now?
Well, I have more control over my dark side now, more than ever.
Yeah, you know what?
We're gonna leave. We're gonna quit while we're ahead, Rothtar.
Oh yeah, he's like a priest. I shouldn't tell him that
we're gonna be
dark powers.
We're good. We're all set, Rothtar.
After we've just convinced him to trust us.
Thanks to you. Thanks to your faith in us, Rothtar. We won't let you down, old buddy, old pal. So we're gonna retrace our steps and hopefully run into the Fearsome Foursome, Doe, I believe they're known as in these trying times. And we're going to elicit their aid in defeating the dragon. So goodbye and thank you. And we will go give Spaeth a high five, and we will peace out of Glassrock.
Alright, so the monster hunting party that you encountered was quite a ways north of Ildrazar in Nardek, so you're probably not going to pass by them again on the way. Although they did say they were based in Bethinter, which Ildrazar's also in Bethinter. So, possible.
And we didn't think that they were moving south?
No, they were going to stick around their kill for the next day or two, and then presumably head back to whatever town they're in.
Wait, guys, we're going about this all wrong. What if we just go to the meeting center in town, the job posting board? What if we post a job and get some, local adventurers to team up with us to clear out Ildrazar?
Would that entail, paying them money?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know about all that.
No, but, we're paying them a fixed sum. But the riches that are in Ildrazar could be a lot more than what we pay some adventurers to help us adventure. And then we keep all the stuff.
Tokas, anytime you are going to enact a policy that will affect a person or a group of people, you have to consider how human nature plays in humanoid nature, we'll say, plays into their response. So, for example, we passed a perfectly qualified, high-level party of adventurers who are monster hunters. We're going to hunt a monster. Why start from square one? Why not just post on the job board, hey, missed connection, like on Craigslist. Hey, we met you on the road while you were harvesting the fluids of a behir. We felt like we had a connection, but maybe we passed by too quickly. We'd like to reconnect with you, and we'll be at so-and-so location.
So riddle me this. We're going to spend the next day or 2 or 3 or week trying to find that party just to take on Ildrazar, just to get the bracelet, while we're on a time crunch with the cult. Is that what I'm hearing, Shabba?
Yes, because just getting the bracelet is everything.
All right, let's do it.
So the capital of Bethinter is Fithnalar. So why don't we go like a day or two past Ildrazar and go to Fithnalar? It's a large city, presumably. Have we been to Fithnalar before?
You've been there.
Okay. Presumably I know how big of a city it is, because we've been there. And we can search there for information about these folks, and hopefully they live there. Maybe we can find them.
Shouldn't we post on this job board too and ask the tavern, then go?
Yeah, let's just to be safe in case they happen to come this way, although we will probably run into them if they are coming this way. But it just better safe than sorry. It probably doesn't cost too much, if anything, to post on the job board. And that's what they do, right? They go into towns and they look for monsters to hunt. So...
True.
So you go to the local tavern and post a job?
Yes, so we say, wherever the job board is in Glassrock, we pen up a lovely form letter that says, Dearest, and then all 4 of their names. And then it says, we met you on the road south from Nardek.
Are you sure you don't want to open this up to... We don't know if they actually are going to want to hunt the dragon. Like, why don't we post a more general posting that would also attract those 4, but might attract other hunters? There could be even stronger hunters. There could be specialized hunters. There could be literal dwarves that are just specialized in hunting dragons, just lying in wait.
The specific reason why we don't do that is because we don't want 10 adventuring parties showing up at the hole in the world and vying for competition for defeating the dragon and taking its stuff. Right.
My question is how you plan to pay for these adventuring parties that are stronger than you.
Yeah, exactly. We're not paying for them. They're joining us in an endeavor that presumably will yield quite a large sum. Because dragons, I don't know if you've ever heard, but they have treasure hoards.
Whoa, wait. Okay, I'm getting total vibes from, like, back in my World of Warcraft days. This is like when you're trying to get a raid together, but the raid leader says, by the way, Thunder Fury is reserved. Like, how are we going to tell them that we want this bracelet? We're just like,
sure.
Yeah, it's just a heirloom. Don't worry about it. You can have the rest. We just give them everything else, and we want the bracelet.
Yeah, literally. I mean, that's all that Thorin Oakenshield wanted was the stone, right?
Exactly, the Arkenstone.
The Arkenstone, and he's like, everything else just doesn't matter. It's all about the Arkenstone, Tokas. It's all about the Arken bracelet.
I think that's exactly what we do. We say, you come with us, you get to keep whatever you find except for the bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but like, what if there's some really sweet gear? Like, what if a Thunder Fury drops and we haven't reserved our chance to roll on this awesome sword?
Well, then I guess we'll just have to miss out for the sake of saving the world, Tokas. I mean, think of the Cave of Wonders. I mean, would Aladdin have gotten the magical lamp with the genie with all that other treasure around if Abu hadn't tried to shove a bunch of gold into his pants? I mean, think about it. I mean, we can't be like Abu. We have to be the Aladdins of this situation, Tokas.
Just apply these real-world situations to what's going on here, Tokas. Come on.
All right. I'll play along, and we post it, and then we move on.
All
right. So we once again set out on the road along the Burden Bridge, back the way we came.
So are you just telling them to meet you in Ildrazar if they want to adventure and kill dragons?
We tell them to meet us along the road We tell them exactly where we're going. No. Then what's his face might find us.
have them meet us in Fifth Nalar.
Yes, in Fifth Nalar. Yes, say meet us in Fifth Nalar.
But we don't say our names. We just say the adventurers you met on the road in Nardek.
Right.
But I thought you were opening this up to more people.
No, I was wrong.
No.
I was wrong.
Just them.
I forgot they were being chased.
Yes. Hopefully they live in Fifth Nalar. I mean, it's like the only big... I mean, there's Lessenrail, but that's kind of on the border between Aranth and Bethinter. But Fifth Nalar is like the big place in Bethinter, so...
We talked to them all that time and we didn't learn where they live.
Yeah. Like I said, that conversation was mostly pointless. So...
We tried to get a feel for it.
Thane was so kind to, like, dump a party of hunters that we could have teamed up with, and we didn't even realize it until we got to Glassrock.
Also, we gave them Spaith's business card, but not our own. We've handed out business cards pointlessly every other time we've met people, except for this one time, and then we give them Spaith.
Seems like perhaps a wasted opportunity.
Actually, wait a second. I did mention Spaith's armory to the dwarf in the party. Should we drop by Spaith's and ask him if they drop in to route them to us?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Also, we should get some barding or some steel claws for Stripey.
That's okay.
I still think that'd be really cool.
Several times already.
We're good for now, but we'll definitely consider that. Yeah, so we give Spaith the old high five, and then we mention those dudes and say, hey, if they roll up in here, you just send them our way. We'll be in Fifth Nalar.
Sure thing.
Thanks, old pal. I love the new armor, by the way.
Yeah, it's really been serving Tokas very well.
Glad to hear it.
And then we go to Fifth Nalar.
Yes, we go directly to Fifth Nalar.
We teleport there. Fast travel.
Man, fast traveling is the greatest invention ever.
It is.
Time is passing. Winter is coming on stronger.
Winter is coming.
Snow is getting gradually heavier and more frequent, which slows travel considerably. But it also means there aren't so many monsters and critters out, although the ones that you encounter are more likely to be rather strong.
All this snow kind of makes you wish you were sipping an umbrella drink on a beach in the south of Merengue, doesn't it, Azlo?
It sure does, yeah.
Well, wait, what about the Tempest Islands?
Ooh. Or the Isles of the Dawn, perhaps?
Sorry, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
What about sipping on the Isles of the Dawn instead?
That'd be nice, too. I think we're all just daydreaming about... No, I mean, Shabba likes the cold, but you guys can daydream about that if you want.
Yeah.
I was just trying to commiserate with Azlo, because he's probably miserable because you guys are, like, cold and stuff. And I'm like, man, this is awesome.
You could also add the Tempest Islands to the Atlas now.
Yes, new place.
We've just created a new world location.
that I mentioned. Shabba, you're helping us through this climate, aren't you? Wouldn't this normally be difficult terrain?
Correct. I am rangering for you on your behalf.
I just imagine you have like a shovel. And you're just like...
Yep. I build a tiny snowplow, and Stripey pulls it.
Makes snowshoes for you.
Yeah. Instead of Stripey pulling it, it should probably be like Stripey in a hamster wheel, like a large hamster wheel running inside of it. And he's like powering it that way, like a little engine, like a motor or something.
And you're pushing, are you directing him?
Yeah, I'm steering, and then you guys are just walking behind after all the snow's been cleared out of the way. It's like one of those large cow plows on the front of an old locomotive, you know?
Yeah.
Things that they push cattle out of the way, off the tracks.
If I know Stripey at all, he wouldn't be the one in the wheel. He would hire some of his minions to run in the wheel for him.
Yeah, he'd have like 3 squirrels and a chipmunk just all running inside the wheel.
The snow makes it hard to travel, but you do make it up to Fifth Nalar, which is the one city in Bethinter that you've spent some time in. It's actually where the caravan was passing through, where you bought that puzzle box.
Oh, this was... Fifth Nalar was where Sir Draknar lives?
Yes.
The carnival.
Oh, we teleported here. That's how we've been here. So we didn't really see the sights. We just saw Draknar's workshop and then the carnival. We didn't really spend too much time sightseeing or anything, or being tourists in this city.
It's true.
Well, it's not much of a tourist destination. It's all smogged from the forges, and the forest around has been cleared out, and so on.
So it's like that small community in the Lorax, is what you're saying. The land has just been sapped of all its natural resources.
Sure.
Kind of, yeah.
I was just thinking of that because I was reading the Lorax with Xander the other day.
So, I remember the carnival. There was a dragon at the carnival.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Did we see that dragon at the carnival before or after our adventure in Yggdrasil?
That is a very good question.
Great question. But I do remember it, starting to go wild and, break out, or at least cause mayhem right before we left.
This isn't that far from Yggdrasil.
It is not.
Is it the same dragon?
It's probably not.
How many dragons are in this land, Shabba?
I mean, enough to make more dragons, presumably.
Also, it's called Dungeons and Dragons, so probably lots.
It's not called Dungeons and One Dragon, maybe.
but guys, if that is the same dragon, that gives us a leg up. It's a domesticated dragon. We could learn some of the command words they used on it or something. Give it post-traumatic stress of when it was part of the circus act.
We'll just spend another 3 months traveling until we find the circus, and then we can learn the command words from them and then come back.
Yes.
Great idea.
Yes.
Okay, I am scrolling back through our old episode titles. Episode 74 is Love Me Tenderly, and that was definitely in Yggdrasil, but that happens after the Chili con Carnes, which was...
I thought Love Me Tenderly was the stalagmite.
Yeah, but that was in Yggdrasil. Episode 69 was Chili con Carne, so that was when we were in Fifth Nalar. So we teleported to Fifth Nalar, then we went to Yggdrasil. So maybe the dragon got real uppity and they released it into the wild and they just dumped it in Yggdrasil and that's what happened. Definitely the same dragon.
Of course, you went to Yggdrasil right away, and there was already a chalk marking on the obelisk that said dragon.
Yep.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the obelisk. Okay.
It had been there for a while.
Yeah.
So, probably different dragon.
Probably.
Right.
Okay.
Either way, it's a dragon. So let's wait here in Fifth Nalar for the fearsome foursome to show up.
Whilst also inquiring after them in the local establishments to see if maybe they live here.
Especially the pubs, bars, taverns, and inns.
Let's just have a really good time while we're waiting for them to get here.
They seemed like real do-gooders, so we should check in all the temples as well.
Give me a charisma investigation check.
Ooh.
That'd be right up Azlo's alley.
Those are usually not paired together.
Yeah.
So, charisma, stat, and then if you're proficient in investigation, it adds something. Okay, gotcha. That would be a 19.
I'm not going to do better than a 19. I numerically, I can't.
True.
Actually, you've got a +1 on this roll.
What?
Oh, yeah, you're proficient in investigation.
I could get exactly a 19 if I roll a 20.
You could get a 21.
Yeah, you're -2 for charisma and +3.
It's 3 for proficiency.
So this is a +1 roll?
Heck yeah, dude.
Oh, man. 18.
All right, wow. Tokas coming through with the investigation.
Still not as good as me, though.
Yeah.
Good try.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing that in, Azlo, as per usual.
That's my job as a boss.
Yeah, that was a great job you did there. Still not as good as me, though.
Don't all the best bosses say that kind of thing?
That's what everyone wants to hear from their boss.
Increase employee morale around here. So, what do we see? What do we talk to people about?
So you gather some information, and you learn that the group of monster hunters is not based in Fifth Nalar, but they frequently come by, and they have their own stronghold of a sort.
Oh.
Not too far outside of town.
What if we were just waiting for them in their room when they got back? Just sitting in the shadows in the corner in a chair. But it was just all three of us just sitting in each other's laps, just being like, we've been waiting for you.
Want to come kill a dragon?
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Also, this makes me think we probably need our own personal stronghold, too.
I would have to agree with that.
Yeah, let's work on that.
We do have a 5x5 patch of ground outside of Nafton that could serve.
Next best thing.
We'd have to like dig down deep and then like create this labyrinth that the mayor doesn't know about.
Underneath the town.
Right. Every stronghold has to have a good underground laboratory.
Like it looks like an outhouse. Like we build basically an outhouse, but there's like a secret way to get into our like subterranean lair.
It's just an elevator.
Yeah, you walk in and you sit down in the outhouse, and then you just pull a lever and it flips you over, and you slide down this like tube.
Like hopefully nobody's used it in the last since we've been away.
Well, you do have to dig down to make the latrines. So.
That's true.
That's a really great idea.
Making our latrines come true.
Fortress of Squalitude.
There's our episode title. Make our latrines come true.
All right. Okay, so they're not from here, but they have a stronghold somewhere nearby.
Yeah, they have a base set up several hours away that you could travel to.
Okay, so like they know where it is? This people we're talking to?
Yeah, you get decent directions to it.
Okay.
Not exact, but you have a pretty good idea.
Okay. What do you guys think? Should we travel to their base?
I think we should.
Why don't we leave a similar thing on the job board here?
Okay.
And then
That works.
travel and not creep into their house. Like maybe we camp like a ways away.
Yeah, I mean, we'll knock. Because they might just be home. They might just be chilling in between adventures, you know?
Yeah.
Either they're there, or maybe they have servants or like followers or something, or employees. One never knows with a high-level adventuring party.
True.
What poor souls they've
Indentured into servitude.
indentured into servitude.
All right, we're going to post another copy of that thing we left in Glass Rock, just in case, to kind of expedite things. And then let's follow those directions.
Except this one says, like, we're going to your base. If we don't see you there, I guess we'll come back to Fifth Nalar?
We'll keep waiting.
Yeah. So that's what we do.
We go to their super secret stronghold.